I'm sitting here on the back porch, listening to the leaves fall from the tree, the squirrels walking through the grass, the wolves in the distance, and the crickets all around me. It's chilly out here now, but it was a warm day, just like last year, and it's almost Halloween again. I want to tell you a story of what happened to me last year on Halloween night. So please, take your blanket to let's get comfortable and listen to my story. It was a warm October day in Georgia. The mugginess of an October day was all gone that evening. There was a chill in the air, and it was foggy. I had a fight with my boyfriend. Yeah, again. We were coming back from a football game, and earlier that morning I found a text from another woman on his phone, a woman named Jennifer. She asked him if he was coming by that evening. She suggested having a private Halloween party, just the two of them. But he answered that he couldn't and that he would take a rain check and drop in tomorrow. Of course he couldn't. He had tickets for the game. But so I found out that he was cheating on me. All through the game I promised myself I would keep my mouth shut and I would follow him the next day. I wanted to see who that Jennifer was and what she had that I don't. Was she pretty or rich? But once we were in the car driving home, I just couldn't keep it to myself and I had to tell him I knew. I was angry, really mad. But I really didn't care. Was our relationship still worth getting upset about? So I told him I read the texting. He got mad, started yelling that it wasn't true, that I was crazy, it was a client, and she just had a party. You see, Frank is a real estate agent. But does a client ask you to come over because she's missing you in bed and calls him honey? I don't think so. And then he just kicks me out of the car. And there I was, standing in the middle of freaking nowhere. My phone didn't get reception, and I didn't know where the heck I was. So earlier that day I heard that there was this storm coming up. I hate storms. It wasn't too long before it would start raining. I started walking home, but I didn't really know where I was or how long I had to walk to get home. Anyway, if I walked northways, I was bound to get home somehow. If I'm lucky, a car will pass by. Through the thick fog, I saw that something. No, it was someone. Was lying in the middle of the road. First I didn't know what to think. When I came closer, I saw it was a man. Was he dead? Or hurt? It freaked me out. I was so afraid, but I couldn't go back. It was starting to rain heavily and I just had to see if that man needed help. My knees were shaking and my heart was beating so fast. Rain and thunderstorms can be very intense in Georgia, you know. In a blink of an eye, and before I knew it, the man was up and right in front of me. It happened so fast that I didn't see him get up. He looked me straight in the eye. "What are you doing here at this hour in this awful weather?" he asked me. "I can ask you the same thing," I said. "Are you hurt?" I checked him out, but he looked fine. No. I was lonely and I had no place to go, so I was hoping I would meet someone to talk to. This was weird. This man was weird, but he was so handsome that it took my breath away. Or was it 'cause I was so afraid of the storm and it was so creepy in the dark? It made my skin crawl. It was raining so hard and the thunder hit right in front of us. He laughed. "Afraid of the thunder, baby girl?" he asked. "Aren't you?" I asked with a shaky voice. "This weather is horrible." "No, I'm not. I'm not afraid of anything," he said. "Are you from around here, little one?" he asked, with a dashing smile that was so sexy, but also mysterious. No, no, I'm not. And I hate to admit it, but I'm actually kind of, well, lost. My boyfriend kicked me out of the car. We were driving home. We had a fight, and he started yelling. "What a dick," he said. "Come on, let's go shelter at my place. My house is here in the woods." I wanted to go with him. I wanted to get out of this rain. But should I? I just had to get to know this insane, attractive, mysterious stranger. Again I asked him, "What were you doing lying in the middle of the road? What the heck were you thinking?" "I was waiting for you," he said, with a half smirk. As I said, I was lonely. I just want someone to have a snack with and a good talk. "Come on, let's go to my place. I promise I'll be nice." "What's your name, honey?" "My name is Damon Morell." "I'm Julie Morgan," I said. "Maybe I can get reception at your place so I can call one of my friends to pick me up." "It's worth a try. And it's dry and warm at my place. A gorgeous woman like you shouldn't be alone at night in the rain." He looked straight into my eyes. Boy, his eyes were as blue as the ocean. If I didn't stop looking at them, I would drown in them. And his black hair was shining in the moonlight. When we arrived at the house, I was stunned. It was an old boarding house from probably the Civil War with a huge front door. He took his key and opened the door, saying, "After you, beautiful. I'll show you the bathroom so you can change and get out of these wet clothes, and please take a shirt of mine out of the bedroom closet," he said, smiling a sexy naughty boy smile. Gee, I was embarrassed. Suddenly, here I was at a stranger's home telling me to get undressed and walk around in a shirt of his while my clothes were drying. That can take hours. What a day. I met this handsome and very hot, smoldering guy I knew nothing about. I felt safe being here, and I liked being around him, but he also scared me. There's something dangerous about him, and yet he was so nice. How could someone who's so kind be dangerous? It was still raining heavily outside, and the storm was horrible. A tree was falling, and there was debris everywhere. I was really scared. So I took off my wet clothes and I took a shower to warm up. I was so cold and shivering. Was it the cold that made me shiver? Or was it the thrill of it all? The tension of being in a stranger's home at a point where I was at my most vulnerable. I took his bathrobe, which smelled so really good, a very masculine scent, and I went into his bedroom. Oh wow! The bedroom was old, a gothic kind of interior with a very large bed that could easily fit 4 people. Only his bedroom was as big as half my apartment. I looked around and I saw a lot of books, very old ones too. Some really old family photos too. Looking at the photos, I realized that I truly forgot to ask if there was a woman in his life. Or worse, a Mrs. Damon Morell. So I wasn't snooping around, I was just looking to find something to wear. He had a large collection of fashionable shirts, t-shirts and jackets, all gray, black and dark blue, and of John Varvatos and Armani. Man, this guy must be really rich, I said to myself. I found a shirt that was long enough to be a dress. I looked at myself in a big antique mirror with angels on top, and with looking at my reflection in the mirror, I agreed that I looked decent enough to go back to the living room. In the meantime, while I took the shower, Damon made a fire. This huge fireplace made the room so cozy and warm, and he made us a drink. I made us a fire because I reckoned you would be cold, and there are some drinks here waiting to be consumed by us. with some cheese and bread. So please, have a seat, and I hope you don't mind me wearing anything but a towel, 'cause someone stole my bathrobe," he said with that naughty half smile again. I blushed and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, And he started laughing, and it amused him that I was so embarrassed and blushing. "Just kidding, honey. Never mind. Just sit down by the fire, eat some, and I'm gonna put on some clothes. I'll be right back." When he came back, he said, "Now tell me all about what happened today." I thought, why would I be talking about Frank when I have this gorgeous man sitting in front of me at this cozy fireplace? His eyes were almost as bright as the fire. I could swear that they will light up in the dark. I felt my cheeks glow, and it was not from getting close to the fire, but to be honest with you guys, I think it was love at first sight, at least for me. But Damon asked again, "Tell me, I want to know what you saw in that dig who left you all alone in the woods, in the middle of nowhere. It's dangerous out here, you know, in the woods. Have you ever heard of wolves, full moon, people disappearing, and that kind of stories?" Because he was so handsome, I forgot the danger I saw in him before. What was I thinking? "Come on, girl. I see you want to talk about it." And I did. I did want to tell what a crappy day I had, or better, what a crappy life. So I told him. I found this texting on Frank's phone, and it was enough for me to realize that I didn't love Frank anymore for such a long time. "So you don't have to go. No one is waiting for you?" he asked. His voice was sweet and understanding. And, again, the danger. Why did he want to know if someone was going to miss me? "No," I said, "and tomorrow is Saturday. I don't have to work." Although some voice in my head said, "What are you doing? Why do you say that no one will miss you? Great. You can stay for the night. Let's toast to a new beginning, princess. To find a man who sweeps you off your feet. What do you look for in a man?" "I don't really know. It's just someone who's nice to me and loves me. It's not easy for someone like me to find true love. I matter to no one. I don't have any money. My job is not that fancy, and And what? What is not to love about you?" Damon interrupted me. He looked at me with a big smile. "I know what a woman like you need. You need a love that consumes you. You want passion, adventure, and even a little danger. You can be the queen of someone's heart, a princess." And then we kissed. His lips were soft as velvet. He smelled so good. "Let's be my princess of the night," he said. And to my biggest surprise ever, he bared his fangs, his eyes were red, the sharp ends of his fangs gently slid into my neck. And so, that's my Halloween story. Damon and I kissed. I never went back to Frank. We broke up. I live with Damon now. And for this year's Halloween, I don't need a costume for the Halloween party the office where I work is throwing. I'm his princess of the night. Yes, I'm a vampire. So be careful and stay safe when you go into the woods alone on Halloween night. You never know who you might run into. Good night, and don't let the vampires bite.